What would you do to protect your family in the face of danger? How would you react? Share your ideas in the comments below. Today, we have an incredible and heartwarming story about a family of elephants who faced unimaginable challenges on their journey to find a new home. Led by their wise matriarch, Amina, this brave herd navigated dangerous predators, severe droughts, and heartbreaking losses. Will they find the strength to overcome these obstacles and discover a new paradise? Watch to find out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing wildlife stories. The vibrant habitat of a family of elephants lay in the vast expanse of the African savanna. Nestled between rolling hills and majestic baobab trees, this sanctuary was a paradise for the gentle giants. Its lush greenery, abundant water sources, and diverse wildlife made it a haven of tranquility and joy. Every day, the elephants reveled in the bounty of their home. They would start their mornings with a refreshing bath in the cool waters of the river, spraying each other playfully with their trunks. Full of energy and curiosity, the younger elephants would chase after colorful butterflies, their trumpets echoing through the air like joyful melodies. The older elephants, wise and experienced, would graze leisurely, savoring the tender leaves of acacia trees. The elephants had a unique bond with their habitat. They were not just inhabitants, they were caretakers. They would use their powerful trunks to break off branches, allowing new growth to flourish. They dug water holes with their tusks, creating oases for other animals during the dry season. Their presence was a symphony of life, where every action contributed to the balance of nature. One day, a whisper of change rustled through the air. It started as a faint, unsettling feeling that crept through the savanna like a ghostly breeze. The once glorious river, their lifeline, began to shrink. The rains, which had always come reliably, had failed. The water holes that dotted the landscape turned into parched mud pits. The lush greenery, which had always been abundant, started to wither, its vibrant hues fading to a dull brown. The herds of gazelles and zebras, their constant companions, moved on in search of better pastures. The matriarch of the herd, an old and wise elephant named Amina, sensed the urgency. Her wrinkled skin bore the marks of countless seasons, and her deep, intelligent eyes reflected a lifetime of wisdom. She gathered the herd and communicated through gentle rumbles and touches. Amina's rumbles were a language of love and leadership, her trunk caressing each member of the herd to reassure them. "It is time," Amina conveyed. "We must leave our home and embark on a journey to a distant habitat, one that our ancestors visited many generations ago. It is a perilous journey, fraught with dangers, but our survival depends on it." The herd set off at dawn, their massive bodies casting long shadows on the dry earth. The sky was a canvas of pastel hues, with the first rays of sunlight breaking over the horizon, casting a golden glow on the savanna. Amina led the way, her steps confident and sure. Her ears flapped rhythmically as she walked, and her trunk occasionally brushed against the ground, sensing the terrain. Beside her was her daughter, Lila, a strong and graceful elephant who had inherited her mother's wisdom. Lila's two calves, Tandy and Keto, walked close to her, their eyes wide with wonder at the world beyond their familiar home. The younger elephants were excited about the adventure, their trunks swinging playfully and their ears flapping with enthusiasm. They chattered in high-pitched trumpets, their spirits lifted by the prospect of new experiences. The journey was arduous from the start. The once familiar paths had turned into treacherous terrain, with cracked earth and thorny bushes that scratched their tough skin. The sun beat down relentlessly, and the heat waves shimmered in the distance like mirages. The herd moved in a single file, their pace steady but cautious. Each step was a testament to their determination. As they traveled, they encountered the harsh reality of their new world. Days turned into weeks, and the herd's strength was tested. They traversed vast plains, climbed steep hills, and crossed treacherous rivers. Each obstacle was met with a blend of caution and bravery, their collective spirit driving them forward. One morning, As they approached a narrow river, the herd stopped abruptly. The water, once a welcoming sight, was infested with crocodiles. Their eyes glinted menacingly above the surface, and their jaws snapped at anything that ventured too close. The elephants knew they had to cross, but the danger was immense. Amina stepped forward, her eyes locking with the largest crocodile. She let out a powerful trumpet, a call of authority that resonated through the air. The herd watched in awe as the crocodiles, sensing the matriarch's strength, slowly backed away. Amina led the herd across the river, the young elephants clinging to their mother's sides, their hearts pounding. The crossing was tense, every ripple in the water sending shivers down their spines. But Amina's presence was a beacon of courage. She moved with deliberate grace, her trunk occasionally dipping into the water to test its depth. The herd followed in her footsteps, their trust in her unwavering. As they ventured deeper into the savannah, the herd faced another threat. A pride of lions, hidden in the tall grass, lay in wait. The elephants sensed the danger, their ears flapping nervously. The air was thick with tension, and the scent of fear mingled with the dry grass. The lions pounced, but the herd was ready. Amina and Lila formed a protective circle around the calves. The elephants trumpeted loudly, their trunks swinging like powerful clubs. The lions, realizing they had underestimated their prey, retreated into the grass, defeated. The battle was fierce and brief, a testament to the elephants' strength and unity. The calves huddled close to their mothers, their eyes wide with fear, but their hearts filled with pride. They had faced the king of the jungle and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. Despite their victories, the journey took its toll. The elephants grew weary, and food and water became scarce. The landscape was unforgiving, with stretches of barren land and sparse vegetation. Amina's heart ached as she saw the suffering of her family. She knew they had to keep moving, but the road ahead was long and arduous. Little Tandy, the youngest calf, struggled the most. Her tiny legs wobbled with exhaustion, and her eyes lost their sparkle. The herd did everything they could to help her. They nudged her forward, coaxing her with gentle rumbles and loving touches. But Tandy's strength waned with each passing day. The nights were the hardest, the darkness amplifying their fears. The herd huddled together for warmth and comfort, their bodies a shield against the cold. Amina's presence was a source of solace, her trunk wrapping around the calves to reassure them. She shared stories of their ancestors, tales of bravery and resilience that gave them hope. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tandy collapsed. Her small body trembled with exhaustion, and her breaths came in shallow gasps. Amina and Lila stayed by her side, their trunks caressing her gently. They whispered words of encouragement, but deep down, they knew the truth. Amina's heart shattered as she made the hardest decision of her life. She knew the herd couldn't afford to stop, but leaving Tandy behind was unthinkable. With tears streaming down her face, Amina stayed with Tandy throughout the night, her sorrow mingling with the darkness. As dawn broke, Tandy took her final breath. Amina let out a mournful trumpet, a cry that echoed through the savannah. The herd gathered around, paying their respects to the brave little calf. They buried her beneath a baobab tree, a symbol of strength and endurance. With heavy hearts, the herd continued their journey. They walked in silence, their thoughts with Tandy. But as the days passed, they found solace in each other's company. They shared stories of Tandy's playful antics, her bright spirit living on in their memories. Finally, after weeks of relentless travel, they reached their destination. The sight that greeted them was a paradise, a lush valley teeming with life, stretched out before them. The river sparkled in the sunlight, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. The herd let out joyous trumpets, their spirits lifted by the beauty of their new home. They rushed to the water, drinking deeply and bathing in the cool embrace of the river. The younger elephants splashed and played, their laughter ringing through the air. Amina stood on a hill, overlooking the valley, Her heart swelled with pride and relief. They had faced unimaginable challenges, but they had survived. The journey had tested their strength and resilience, but it had also brought them closer together. Lila joined her mother, her eyes filled with gratitude. "We made it, Mother. We're home." Amina nodded, her eyes glistening with tears. "Yes, my dear, we're home." The herd settled into their new habitat, their hearts full of hope. They had learned the true meaning of friendship, love, and perseverance. They had faced dangers and heartbreak, but they had emerged stronger. In the evenings, as the sun set over the valley, the elephants would gather under the baobab trees. They would share stories of their journey, their voices a chorus of triumph and unity. They remembered Tandy, their little warrior, and honored her memory with each passing day. The elephants thrived in their new home, their presence a beacon of life and harmony. They continued to care for the land, ensuring that future generations would have a sanctuary to call their own. Their journey had taught them the importance of resilience and the power of hope. As the years passed, the story of their adventure spread through the animal kingdom. It became a tale of courage and determination, inspiring others to face their challenges with strength and grace. The elephant's legacy lived on, a testament to the indomitable spirit of these gentle giants. And so, in the heart of the African savannah, the elephants found not just a new habitat, but a new beginning. They had faced the trials of the journey together, and they had emerged victorious. Their story was one of friendship, love, and the unwavering belief that no obstacle was too great to overcome. In the end, the elephants had not just survived, they had thrived. Their journey, filled with laughter, tears, and unbreakable bonds, became a legend that would be told for generations to come.